So we had a bit of a hiatus since our last hike that we did. The weather hasn't just really cooperated with us, but we also can only get out here on the weekends. So we're finally back out in the White Mountains on the other side of Crawford Notch. If you checked out in an earlier recording we did, we tried to get Tom Field and Willey, and we ended up taking a wrong turn and just did Tom and Field. So said we come back and get Willey on the backside. So that's what we're going to do now. Head up, I believe it's Ethan Pond Trail, up to Willey Trail. Willey, I hear some people say Wiley. I've been told by locals it's Willey. So heading up via Ethan Pond up to Willey. So I've seen this one's also on the Terrifying 25. I guess there's some pretty steep cliffs that we're going to head up. Once we get up there, some ladders. So this one should be great. Let's get it going. A mile in on Ethan Pond Trail. Nothing too exciting. You do start off with about 500 or 600 feet of elevation right off the gate after the coming over the railroad tracks, but pretty straightforward, very straight trail. You're not doing too much up and down. It's mostly just up. It's not too windy. So we'll check in a little bit, probably on the 2 mile area. So as you saw back there, you branch off onto Willey Trail. You can continue on Ethan Pond. That continues the AT. We sort of keep to the right if you're doing Mount Willey, and you're about 1.1 mile from the peak at that point. So you're fairly graded up until you hit that 2 mile mark, and that's where you really start to make an ascent up towards Mount Willey. It starts to get pretty steep. I'm wondering where those ladders are going to show up for us. Sometime in the near future is what I'm guessing. So couldn't ask for a better day to be out here. Really pretty. So let's continue on. So 2.3 miles in, you get your first look at what we're calling ladders, I guess. To me, they look like stairs, but on video, you never get justice of what the grade actually looks like. It is pretty steep going up, but it doesn't look like it. So a couple of sketchy areas, I guess. Maybe a little terrifying. Just coming down from Willey. I didn't do a lot of commenting at the top just because there's not a lot of room and sort of lots of people sitting down and hanging around up there. So make sure if you're trying to get your 48, just sort of walk straight ahead to the rock pile. Then you can come back and head out to the overlook and get a really good view of the Presidential Range across the way, looking at Pierce and Jackson, and then sort of a good shot up the Ammonoosuc side of Washington. Earlier, well, in the winter, last winter, we did the other side, Lionhead, coming up via Lionhead up to Washington. You can check that out in an earlier video. So making our way back down now. This should be a pretty quick out. I think we're looking at around 5 or 6 miles total, so get a couple more video shots on the way down, and then we'll wrap it up. We're coming to the end of Willey. We didn't park at the Willey or Wiley house, whichever one it is, and come up the other trail. We chose to go via the AT and come up Ethan Pond Trail. So you're pull in a little bit before where the Wiley house is at. And we chose to go that direction. Moving time for us is a little bit under 4 hours for this one. It is pretty simple up to about the 2 mile mark, and then you get fairly steep, but all in all, I'd say this is like an intermediate to easy style hike. You don't have to do this as an out and back. That's how we did it today. You can do this as an AB if you want to also move on to do Field and then Tom, or you can even do it out and back that way if you wanted to. You could go all the way out to Field and then Tom and come back this way, but an A to B would make more sense at that time. Last time we did this one, it was in the winter, and that was a blast because you can do a lot of glissading on the way down. So sort of a fun hike. I enjoyed it. The latter part really wasn't that difficult. If you're a beginner, maybe try a Mount Hale or something else before you come and do this one, but take your time on the ladders and you'll probably be okay. If you're intermediate or advanced, this hike will be pretty easy for you. So thanks for walking with us and watching, and until next time.